I'm Richard Friedman, and welcome to my video cartoon for July 17th, 2025. Here we have the return of Jeffrey Epstein. He returns now as the Trump-created Frankepstein. And here he has the files here, the Epstein files, and he got into the Justice Department and he got these files, and he's coming back here to confront President Trump, and that's in response to President Trump's latest tweet here. And that's the action in the cartoon, that the Trump created monster Frankepstein gets into the Justice Department and gets these Epstein files and confronts the president in the Oval Office here. And that's the central action of this cartoon. There you can see Epstein files, and there he is. There's Epstein. He's back as Frankepstein, the monster Frankepstein created by President Donald Trump. How he created him was by spreading all these conspiracy theories that his followers and the MAGA people bought into, and they really went gung-ho for this. And now it turns out, and President Trump had promised them that he would get to the truth behind what was going on with this the trials and the results of that, and what the evidence was, and the people involved. And he said when he was running that he would really get to the truth. And what's happening now is it appears that he's stonewalling it. Pam Bondi, his Justice Department, the head, the Attorney General Pam Bondi, who runs his Justice Department, basically has said that a little while ago, she said that the files, that she had the files on her desk to be reviewed, and now she had the list, actually the list of participants, a client list of Epstein's on her desk. And now, just a couple of days later, we heard her say that those were only files on her desk and there weren't nothing specific names. So that's a little bit of a flip-flop there, a 180 flip-flop, I would say. So now, and President Trump is coming forth saying that this is all the Democrats and this is a hoax by the Democrats to say all these things that he had said himself, and now he wants everybody to move on. So it's like it's a little bit like that movie Gaslight, with Ingrid Bergman. That was 1940. None of us were around then. Ingrid Bergman and Charles Boyer starred this movie where this man had a I don't know if I don't recall whether it was his wife. I think it was his wife, yeah. And he was trying to convince her that she was going cuckoo. And in those days, the movie takes place where there's no electricity and everything was run, all the electricity. There was no electricity and the lights are run by gas. So he was manipulating the gas distribution in the house, and they driving her to think that she was going crazy because the light would go on, light would go off, and she didn't know what was going on, and there was nobody home. And in those days, if somebody turned on the gas in one room and lit the light would get dimmer in the next room. And she was by herself, so she didn't know what was going on. So it's a little bit like that movie, Gaslight, from 1940. You might want to go back and take a look at that movie. If you look it up, Google it. That was, again, Gaslight with Ingrid Bergman and Charles Boyer. And in all honesty, I mean, it just rings a bell in my mind, and I'm just giving it to you off the cuff. So you take it as you would. So I'm just trying to make you think and laugh at the same time, enjoy your own conclusions. So basically, again, going back to this is the cartoon here, right here. And here is Jeffrey Epstein confronting President Trump in the Oval Office there. He's got the Epstein files that he's gotten from the Justice Department here. And this is in response to this social post on Truth Social that Trump put up, and it was like this. It went, 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Well, he was caring about when he was, kind of pushing all these conspiracy theories that was going on about him, and with sex trafficking and all that. I don't want to go there, but I'm just giving you the background with sex trafficking, and with young people, with underage girls. Let's put it. That's all I'm going to go on that. But that's the scenario, and now, and people say, well, President Trump said we got to move on. Got to move on. It's a Democratic hoax. But the thing is that he took it out of the bag when he was expounding on these theories, that Jeffrey Epstein did this, and the Democrats were working. They were doing I didn't want to say this, but pedophiling with a bunch of pedophiles, Democrat pedophiles, or something like that. I don't really dwell into that, but relating Democrats to very very bad ethical actions in terms of with young girls, and it was all this stuff, and now it's all coming mushrooming out, and so I thought, in a way, this cartoon symbolizes the Frankenstein monster here comes back here, just like with Frankenstein, when Dr. Frankenstein created the Frankenstein monster, and he couldn't control him, and the same thing happens here. This is symbolic of that, and I call the monster Frankepstein. So there is the monster Frankepstein confronting President Trump with the Epstein files in the office there, and again, that this whole thing now mushrooming with the base, and a lot of people are very upset. The followers, a lot of MAGA people. Some people are sticking with Trump. Some people, but there's definitely a breakage here and splintering, and again, that was sparked by the Justice Department with Pam Bondi with her 180, and Trump's plea to move on, and first, again, I don't want to repeat myself, but she did say that I heard her with my own ears here say that it's on her desk, the list of clients, and then she says now it was just files, that's all it was, and President Trump said, well, if there's anything that has any credence or credentiality or whatever you want to call it, she should come forward, and he said also that he doesn't want a special counsel to investigate. That Pam Bondi should appoint a special counsel to independently investigate this matter to see what the story is here, and he doesn't want that. But the thing is that the Justice Department is supposed to be separate from the executive, from the president, and it implies here a sort of a partnership going on here for him to even to suggest that he doesn't want such a special counsel by Pam Bondi appointing such a special counsel. So it suggests that he is maintaining an influence, to say the least, over the Justice Department, which goes against the separation of powers of what our country was founded on. So that's it. I'm just giving you an overview here, and you take it as you would take it, and not trying to give you a little humor and a little few facts, and you go with it where you want to go. Now, again, here is Frankepstein in the Oval Office here, and this is how the conversation's going to go here, and I'm going to go with it right now. Here's President Trump there. Thumbs up. There he is. Wasn't too happy to see him, but he's still doing his thumbs up, and here he is. Okay? There is Frankepstein. the monster Frankepstein returning to the Oval Office in much the same way as Dr. Frankenstein, who created the monster Frankenstein, couldn't control him. And there we have here he is. Okay. Okay, now here goes the cartoon. Okay, here is what I read to you before. I want to read it again here. This is what President Trump put up posted on Truth Social. Here it is. Donald J. Trump, and he wrote again, 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. So Frankepstein, the monster, has taken he's taken a little offense to that, and he's coming back from that that post on social media, and he's confronting President Trump here in the Oval Office, and he's saying here, President Trump, nobody cared about me until you helped spread all those conspiracy theories. Here is the additional credible stuff. There is the files. Okay, there's the Epstein files. The additional credible stuff you'd support releasing that I got from your Justice Department. And then here goes President Trump, and he's saying, Mr. Frankepstein, this sounds like you did a Watergate-like break-in at my Justice Department. There goes President Trump. He just said that. He said that. Okay. And then Frankepstein, the monster, comes back. Frankepstein, the monster, comes back and says, Mr. President, the Federal Protective Service folks there got so scared of me for some reason and let me in. They were so scared of me, they let me in. And then here goes President Trump, and he goes, let's cut the bullshit. Pam Bondi is doing a great job, and she would never leave any files or client lists on her desk, especially with those Democrats out there. Frankepstein, you are going back to jail. You are going back to jail. And there's Frankepstein, and here he responds to President Trump here with his Epstein files in his hand, and he responds, and he says, this time I'll break down the brick walls and eat the barbed wire to escape the prison. So there he is. He's going to eat the barbed wire and break down the walls, as Frankepstein, to the great escape of Frankepstein from the prison, So maybe it'll be Alcatraz, who knows? President Trump working on Alcatraz now. So Attorney General Pam Bondi was out there today checking it out. She's thinking about where she wants to put the swimming pool and where she's going to put the ping pong tables and stuff. And anyway, so here you go. There it was. There was my cartoon. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you for watching my video. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. Hang in there. Take care. Bye.